Mr. Speaker, many families move to mature neighbourhoods because of their access to local community schools. Yet year after year, this PC government refuses to fund routine maintenance and upkeep in our existing schools, turning simple fixes into major repairs. Today, because of this government's neglect, Edmonton Catholic School Board is forced to vote on the closure of 4 mature neighbourhood schools that they can't afford to repair. To the Minister of Education, why do you insist on punishing mature schools in mature neighbourhoods?
Mr. Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth with respect to what this member is saying. Edmonton Catholic is not voting on closing schools because of the disrepair of the schools. They're voting on amalgamating students into one location because they think potentially it's in the best interest of the students with respect to programming. And that's what we're here for. We're to deliver education, not to manage buildings. I don't disagree with the member in terms of I wish we could give them more money to maintain their buildings, but the truth of the matter is there's also large capital reserves across the province. But at the end of the day, we're interested in instruction and programs and opportunities, and sometimes that means operating a building has to come.
First supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given that creative programming, like the sports program Edmonton Catholic brought in at St. Mark's, can attract parents to mature neighbourhood schools, and given that St. Mark's narrowly avoided closure last year, but now enrollments increased by 30%, why doesn't the minister support school boards, parents and teachers who have creative solutions to avoid school closures?
The Honourable Minister.
It's a great question, Mr. Speaker, and that's why I'm very happy that the member from Edmonton that's got the gold bar brought the parents and the school board in to meet with me some time ago to talk about this situation. And I commend the school board for taking on this challenge because it's a difficult decision. That's one of the reasons under this Premier we stepped forward and provided money ahead of time for that school board so they could have certainty that when they go out and develop those programs and develop those creative opportunities and make those tough decisions, they know that this Premier and this government will stand behind them and will provide the funding so they can deliver the best programs possible.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Still closing schools, Minister. Given that the Calgary Board of Education's new capital plan asks for over $300 million in school modernizations alone, and given that over 19 of those modernizations have been requested by the board for more than 5 years, will the minister commit to funding these modernizations before more Alberta schools are too costly for repair?
The Honourable Minister of Education.
Mr. Speaker, I think this member agrees with me that we elected the right Premier, and that's why we've got such a strong investment in the schools and the infrastructure. We've never had such a big capital program for education, and that's due to one person, the person that was talking about during the election. And this is the only party that was talking about that during the election, and she's to be commended because we delivered on it with 50 new schools and 70 modernizations, and we'll continue investing in that capital, Mr. Speaker.